Newcastle United. It runs through the veins of the city, and when it comes to the weekend, there's black and white everywhere you look. The roads come to a standstill, with everybody heading to town to watch their local heroes. Whether it's to the pubs or to the stadium itself, it's always packed full of people looking to put their worries to one side just for 90 minutes. They want something to cheer for, something to get behind, and when the lads walk out to the club's anthem, you feel your pulse speed up, your adrenaline rises, you know it's time to get behind the team. And with rumours of the long-awaited exit of Mike Ashley on the horizon, now more than ever there is hope. Hope for a team we can be proud of. And with local businessman Ken Hodgecroft being rumoured to take over his hometown club, it is time to put the relegations behind us. And with a long-time Newcastle United supporter in as manager, the future has never been so bright on Tyneside. Some wear their hearts on their sleeves, but we wear ours on our chest. Welcome to the Newcastle Takeover. Hello and welcome back to Curb FM and the first episode in the Newcastle Takeover on Football Manager 2018, and in this series I'll be taking over my favourite club, the club I support, Newcastle United, and we are hopefully going to be taking over the English football game and hopefully the European football game too. And speaking of takeovers, we are actually currently under bid from Ken Hodgecroft, who used to own Hartlepool, which is a local team, fairly local anyway. And he wants to buy Newcastle United. We're currently under a transfer embargo as he negotiates with Mike Ashley. And hopefully we can see the back of Mike Ashley once and for all. And we can get rid of them horrible Sports Direct signs that plague our stadium. And yeah, hopefully we can get a decent bit of money in as well. I wouldn't mind that either. But yeah, speaking of transfers and transfer embargoes, before the transfer embargo came in, we had some transfer deals that came in and out. So we'll start with the outs. And firstly, Rob Elliott left on a free. I had a choice of keeping him or Darlow as our backup keeper to our new keeper that I'll show you in a second. And I decided Rob Elliott, because of his age, would be the one to leave. Carl Darlow's like 28, 27. So he's got a few more years left in him than Rob has. So he left on a free. Nobody wanted to pay for him. And Villa came in with an offer of £0 on the transfer deadline day. And I was happy to accept and get him off the wage bill. And also Jack Colback left for Hull in the Championship. And we managed to get $5 million for him. So I think that's a good deal. He was never going to get a game. And yeah, $5 million. We invested that into the team. So I was happy to accept and get him off the wage bill as well. And the second highest transfer fee out was Henri Saivet, who we sold for 13.25 million, which is really good. He went to Leicester. He was never going to get a game either. Maybe he's going to do well at Leicester. I'm not sure. He hasn't started in the league yet. So maybe not. But yeah, I think 13 million for a backup player is not too bad at all. And finally, unfortunately, Matt Ritchie had to leave the club. I don't use wingers. And Matt Ritchie, even though he was one of the best players at the team, I wanted to cash in on him and invest in the centre of midfield, which we have done. And he left for Stoke for 16.5 million. And he's having a great time so far. Down in Stoke with a 7.85. But Matt Ritchie just didn't fit into the system that I wanted to employ. So it's a shame, really, because I do like him, but I had to make a tough decision, and the decision was made to have him leave the club. And then the money that we got from these transfers, which in total was 35 million, I believe, we signed some youngsters and we signed some first-team players, so I'll start with the youngsters. And we signed from Arsenal, Chuba Akpom, and I signed him purely because of his pace. And he's gone out on loan to Burton for now in the Championship. His report says he has a lot of potential and currently is a League 2 player. So for him to be getting games in the Championship with Burton should help his development a lot. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll monitor him as the save goes on. And our second signing, again from Arsenal, is Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And this guy I'm really excited about, even more than Akpom. He's a centre midfielder. He can also, you can see there, he's very versatile in what he can do. But I will be playing him primarily as a centre midfielder, as I say. 20 years old. And there's also something in his trophy cabinet that I was very impressed with when I found out. And he's actually won the FA Cup and he's won the FIFA Under-20s World Cup this past summer, which is massive. I checked online as well to see if he actually played, and apparently he played 7 games. So that's really good that he's gone and done that with England. Maybe one day he'll win the World Cup with the first team, probably not. And Ainsley is currently being tutored by Stefano Storaro, which is someone who I signed from Juventus for 6.5 million. He was on the transfer list, and I needed someone in the centre of the park to really solidify things, a bit of world class alongside Shelvey. And this guy has absolutely smashed it so far. He's had 2 appearances, 9 average rating, 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 player of the match in the league. And I mean, I can't really ask for more. He's also currently tutoring Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who we saw before. And he's got the determination, teamwork and work rate that hopefully rubs off on Niles and helps develop him even more. But yeah, Storaro has come in. He's probably one of our best players now. And I'd see him as the replacement for Richie in terms of quality-wise. And we got him for like 10 million less. So I'm really happy with that. And he's worth 17 million. Yeah, great signing, I think. Also, I forgot to mention with Niles that we had him on loan originally with a clause to buy. And I decided to just trigger it in the summer because I liked what I saw in the friendlies and I wanted to loan him out maybe to the Championship. Nobody wanted him on loan, but we're going to play him in the first team anyway. And we also signed a striker and, well, he's going to be playing as a striker. It says he's a winger, but he can be a striker perfectly well. Great balance, great strength, good finishing and good work rate, which is good for a backup striker, I think. And he's not the best. He's only 3 stars, leading Championship player apparently. But I think he's going to do a good job as a backup to Gale, Hozelu and Mitrovic. And he came in for 8.25 million on deadline day. And he was just really the best option for the price. So I brought him in as basically 4th best striker. And then finally, we have a new number 1 in goal. We have Mattia Perrin. And we signed him for 10.5 million. He hasn't had the best start so far. He's started 3 games in the league and averaged a 6.47. But I wouldn't necessarily blame him because the team overall didn't play well. And then he got injured with some sort of hand injury. Yeah, he broke his hand. He's been out for a while, 4 weeks. But yeah, hopefully he can come back and maybe step up his game. The only thing I want from him now is to improve his handling because I think he has everything else. But that handling, he keeps parrying shots, giving away chances from the rebound off his parries. So I don't want that. So yeah, I'm trying to improve his handling. We're doing that in training and we'll see how that goes. And in terms of the under-23s, there's some names to look out for. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has been made available to play for them so he can get some more game time. We've got Sean Longstaff, who looks like he's going to be our best prospect and someone I'm looking forward to bringing back to the club. He was already out on loan and I can't recall him. And I wouldn't have minded him in the first team, to be honest, to give him some games. And he is out on loan at League 1 Blackpool. And according to his report, he's a League 2 player. So, again, good for his development. Hopefully he can make that step up to the League 1 once his injury is finished. He's currently out for 2 to 4 weeks. And also some other names to look out for. Rolando Aarons, Adam Armstrong, Elias Sorensen, and Jacob Murphy. I'm torn about because I don't use wingers. So I'm giving him a chance to develop as a striker in the under-23s and we'll see how he goes. And if he doesn't get used to becoming a striker, he will then be sold basically. He's worth 11 million, so I think we can get at least 10 million for him. And we're also going to change his additional focus to finishing as well. So hopefully, I think he could be a decent poacher. He's got some room for improvement, but he's only 22, so hopefully within the next year or so, he can become used to that role. I did record episode 1, but then realised the sound wasn't on. So I had to basically have this as episode 1. But we did lose both of our opening games in that episode to Watford and Southampton. We lost 4-1 at home and then 2-0 away, which wasn't the best start. And then we went away to Oldham in the EFL Cup, which was a really tough game. I don't know how we scraped through, to be honest. We went 1-0 down, then Mikel Merino equalised, then they scored another, and then 3 minutes later John Joe scored, and then they scored in the 75th minute to make it 3-2, and 3 times I thought we were going out, but then Joselu got a brace to put us through. Jamal Lascelles unfortunately picked up a knock in this game, so he hasn't featured as much as I'd like him to, but he is back now and he will be starting today against Chelsea. Also, then we lost to West Ham 1-0 at home. Again, another disappointing defeat. I was not happy, and we were rock bottom of the league. But then we played West Brom at home, and they were 19th and we were 20th, so it really was a battle of the worst. And we got a 3-0 win. Stefano Sturaro, on his debut for the club, scored the opening goal. Then Perez and Dwight Gale made it 3. And it was helped by the fact that they had 10 men going into the second half. So it made the second half pretty easy, and then we scored in the 81st minute to seal the win. And then we went away to Swansea and absolutely destroyed them. We were at one point 5-0 up, but then they managed to get 3 back, and we eventually finished 6-3, which apparently is the highest goal scoring game in the club's history, which is quite an achievement since we're only a few games in to the series. And then we had to play Chelsea in the EFL Cup. Unfortunately, we didn't make it through that, and I didn't expect to. And I'm quite happy that we didn't at the same time, because it gives us time to focus on the league and push for that European spot. And in terms of expectations from the media, we are expected to finish 12th. Our owner wants us to finish mid-table, which is probably like 14th and up. I'm not really sure, maybe 15th. So I think that's definitely doable. And my personal aim is to finish 7th. I want to be the best team outside of the top 6, which is Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea. So I want to do that, and then that will set us up nicely to break into the top 6 and hopefully push on to the Champions League places eventually. But yeah, Dwight Gale is also the top goal scorer in the league, joint with Romelu Lukaku and Anthony Martial. So he's stepped up, unlike in real life. Dwight Gale's banging him in. And in today's game, he will be starting up front with Joselu. And in behind them, we have Ayoze Perez as our cam, playing as a trequartista, which is a role I feel suits him really well. And then, instead of Merino today, we're going to be starting Maitland-Niles. Merino usually starts, but he's been complaining, and I'm not happy with him. So I've dropped him for this game as a punishment. And it is against Chelsea, so the likelihood of winning is slim anyway. So let's give Maitland-Niles some minutes. And then we've got Shelvey on the right-hand side of the midfield. And then in the middle of them two, we have Stefano Sturaro as the ball-winning midfielder support. And then we've got Kieran Clark at left-back. I've been playing him ahead of Dummett because I feel he's more defensively sound. Then we've got Jamal Lascelles and Mbemba making up the defensive centre. And then we've got Yedlin on the right-hand side as a full-back attack, bombing up that right-hand side, using his 19 acceleration and 19 pace to get backwards and forwards. And yeah, he's doing a decent job so far. I think he's got some room for improvement. And then in goal, we are going with Carl Darlow because Perrin is currently injured with his hand injury. He should be back for the next game, though. And Carl Darlow hasn't been doing too bad. He's actually been doing better than Perrin, to be fair. In terms of the tactic, we're going to be playing a 4-3-1-2. I was playing a diamond. I had Mbemba in the DM role, which I'm still training him for, actually. I think that'll be useful to rotate to that sometimes and have Mbemba there. And we'll essentially be playing 3 centre-backs if we bring on if we move in Clark and then play Dummett on the left-hand side. But for now, we've essentially got a back three and then an attacking full-back. So when the Edlin's getting forward, I want Clark to sit back and remain in line with Lascelles and Mbemba. Although he has been caught out of position a few times, so I was thinking potentially testing this. And if he plays as a centre-back, he's definitely going to stay in line with them. So I might test that today. In fact, I will. It looks a bit wonky, but I think in terms of the match engine, I think this could work. If Clark sits on the left, and if they sit in a nice line in the centre, making sure that if they do break, we've got 3 men back. Because what I find, even though Clark is on a defensive full-back role, he still pushes forward and leaves the gaps on this left-hand side. And let's test this just for maybe the first half. And it's probably going to invite plenty of goals down this side. But we'll see how it goes. And we'll observe that as the match goes on. So, yeah, that's something I've never tried before, but something I thought of last night and something I want to implement now. But yeah, with all that out of the way anyway, you're probably just wanting to get into the game. So we'll start that now. And I'm going to say we owe Chelsea after what happened last time. And they seem fairly motivated. And we'll just ask the assistant to finish it off. And no changes after that. But yeah, Darlow, Clark and Ainsley-Niles are looking motivated. It's good to see Ainsley with a bit of fire under his belly. And now here we are at Stamford Bridge. And hopefully maybe we can get a draw today. Let's just keep an eye on this defence. And there is a lot of space down that right-hand side though for Chelsea. Unless we just quickly play wide. Maybe that'll help. Let's do that. So yeah, really an experiment so far. But yeah, as you can see, they're staying in line with each other. And Clark's still technically on that left-hand side as the left back. Yeah, there was quite a lot of space there for Pedro. Maybe we're going to have to switch it back. We'll give it another 10 or so minutes. Maybe one more highlight and observe how it goes. But now Kante picks it up. He's going to burst forward. Can he find a pass? He finds David Luiz through to Pedro. Pedro gets the cross into Mertens and Mertens scores. But Dries Mertens with a good finish, to be fair. Kante sets up David Luiz, who plays a nice ball to Pedro, who lays it straight across goal to Mertens. He turns, he shoots and he scores. So yeah, we'll give it one more attacking highlight from Chelsea just to see how Clark does. And again, this is the only thing, these goals are from set pieces technically, so they don't really count, although they have both been from that side. But the players weren't in position anyway, so I can't blame the tactic change just yet. I don't know, am I being stupid here? One more highlight where it's not a set piece. Come on, can we get them on the counter here? Good challenge from Gale there. And we've won it over to Joselu. Come on, find the pass. Niles finds Shelvey through to Gale. Come on, man. Okay, they're on the counter now. So let's just watch Clark. A lot of space down that right-hand side there for them, though. Yeah, we're going to switch it back. It worked in my head, but in-game it's not worked. So I'm not really sure how to get him to just stay back completely. He's got hold position on by default. Maybe just, I'm going to put closing down to much less. Let's see if that helps. Here we go, down that right-hand side into Mertens, and yeah, there's the goal. Yeah, I've completely opened the floodgates down that side. That was a bad tactical choice. He's just been allowed acres of space. And Zappacosta finds the pass into Mertens. And at least this was a game we were probably going to lose anyway to test it out in. So it's not the end of the world. Hopefully for the rest of the episode we can actually get a win. We're playing Stoke later on in the episode, so I think that could be a decent 3 points if we play well. But yeah, I may as well go over the channel overall and how I think it's going as Eden Hazard blasts it into the back of the net. So there's been decent support so far, decent views, so thanks for everyone that's watching so far. I think the aim at the minute is probably 100 views per episode. So yeah, if you are actually watching now and you're enjoying this so far, as we see Chelsea beat us 4-0, make sure you let me know by hitting the like button. And I have recently done the Ajax save, but I just wasn't enjoying it. It wasn't going well at all, and it was just making me sad to play the game. I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I'm pretty sure I was about to be fired anyway. So, yeah, we've dropped that. And hopefully we bring some of the philosophies from the Ajax save into this one, where we're going to be signing a lot of youngsters. And giving youngsters a chance. As you can see, obviously Maitland-Niles starting today's game. But I'll just make a quick change. I'm going to take Shelvey off for Diame and rest him. And also, I want to give Marega a run out as well. So he's going to come on for Gale. And yeah, as I was saying, I wanted to do the Newcastle save because I did it last year on 2017, but we only got into the end of the second season. We qualified for Europe after being promoted in the first. So if you weren't here for that, that's what happened. We also made Adam Armstrong an absolute monster somehow. He was banging in the goals in the Premier League. So hopefully when he comes back from loan from Bolton, he can do that again. So yeah, basically I'm seeing this as like a continuation of that save. As we've given away a penalty Mertens is going to take. So yeah, that save was going well. I was really enjoying it, but then like my laptop decided to die, and then FM18 was around the corner anyway. And when I got a new laptop, I just didn't see the point of carrying on. I did do one episode, but then we lost to Sunderland, which wasn't brilliant. But yeah, 5-0 here at Stamford Bridge. Great stuff. And also alongside this series, I'm going to be doing a number of short series on Football Manager. One's going to be involving the World Cup, where I'm going to be taking over a club where I'm going to be taking over a team that's actually qualified in real life. And there's a really cool story behind it. I don't want to ruin it though, just in case someone listening decides to copy it. Although it's quite an obvious idea anyway. I'm sure someone's going to do it without me even saying what it is. But there's also another save that I want to do after that, which is also to do with the World Cup. But it's a team that didn't qualify, and they're really going through a rebuilding process. They haven't not qualified for a long time, and this is the first time that they haven't in a long time, like I say. So I want to be taking over them and taking them into the next World Cup in Qatar or wherever the game changes it to be. And then after that, I'm going to be doing different short series. Maybe someone that's in the relegation battle in real life. Maybe trying to save West Ham or something like that. We'll see. But yeah, I've got to get the other two out of the way first as we go into the last 2 minutes of the game. And it looks like we're not going to get anything from this game at all. Not even a goal. And hopefully it just ends soon. As Marcos Alonso finds Bakayoko, forward to Hazard, across to David Luiz. Is he playing in midfield today? Looks like he is. Willian finds the cross into Hazard, and it's 6-0. Oh no. Come on, let's just end the game. Let's get to the Stoke one. Right, they've got a corner. Just clear it. Is it a penalty? No, I think that was a Chelsea foul. And there we go. Stamford Bridge 6-0. Absolutely smashed by Chelsea there. I'm going to say we were unlucky because it was Chelsea and it was my tactical choices that probably cost us there. At least early on. But it was an experiment. That's frustrating. So yeah, we're going to move Clark back over to be your left back. It did kind of work because the tactic change did work because Clark did stay in line with the other two. But there was also so much room on that left-hand side. But yeah, let's get forward to the Stoke game. And I'll let you know if anything happens with the takeover too. And I've just got a news piece here. The Newcastle players are to personally refund supporters who bought tickets from the club for the 6-0 hammering at Chelsea. Fair play to them. Carl Darlow told the official club website that players felt bad and let the travelling support down. And to be fair, they had travelled to London from Newcastle, which I've done that before and it takes a long time. I think it's like a 7-hour train or something. And if they'd got the megabus, it's even more. So Lejean wants some first team football and I'll tell him he should move on. And he says, no, that won't be necessary. I thought he might say that. But yeah, I'm not being bribed into starting people. So I always say, if you're not playing and you want first team football, you have to leave because I'm not going to play you just because you've asked me to play you. I'll play you if someone goes out of form or something like that. But yeah, it's good to see that response. Professional response from Lejeune. I think it's Lejeune, something like that. Also, before we get into the Stoke game, because it's taken so long, if you know anyone that watches Football Manager videos or plays Football Manager and you are enjoying the episode, make sure you share it with them. Or if you know a Newcastle fan that you think would enjoy it, that would help me out a lot. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Matt Ritchie will be making a return to St James's Park today. I'll just say, yeah, it's great to see Matt. He's a nice lad. I hope he won't enjoy the game too much. And he's a good player who can cause any side problems. And this is the team we go into the Stoke game with. Everything's the same as last time, apart from Marino was starting instead of Niles, and he's moved and has been moved over to the right-hand side, and Shelvey will play the attacking playmaker role. And Perrin is making a return to the first team, and hopefully he can impress today. And speaking of Lejeune, who was moaning before, he's actually played better than Jamal. But the captain really has to play, I guess. In fact, no, I'm not going to do that. We're going to start Lejeune. He asked for it. And even though I told him that he'd have to leave to get first team football, we're going to start him the next game. Yeah, we'll see how he does. I just don't want to drop Jamal, to be honest, because I'm a big fan. I had him on a Football Manager save before he even joined Newcastle, and then he joined Newcastle and became the captain, which just like, now he's the best player ever. He captained me to the Europa League at one stage with a Nottingham Forest save. So, what a guy. But yeah, today, Jamal, sit on the bench, think about what you've done, and let's get into the game. So here we are at home this time. I wonder if Matt Ritchie's playing. I think he is. He is there on the right-hand side, so we'll keep him highlighted. Hopefully he doesn't cause us too many problems today, because that would definitely be annoying since we sold him. But we're on the counter now with Marino. Over to Gale, who loses it. And Mbemba with a good challenge there, good slide challenge to get the ball back. And now we have the ball back now, Shelvey to Gale. Through to Joselu, who shoots. What a strike that is. I think he's a former Stoke man, isn't he, Joselu? Yeah, he is. He played for Stoke last season and didn't make an appearance. Former Real Madrid player, no less. We could really do the 3 points today just to bump ourselves up the table. We'd go joint 10th as it stands if we get the win. And here we are. We've got a highlight with a corner. Ayoze down to Lejeune, and he's got the goal. Come on. He's asked for a start and he's grabbed us a goal from a corner. Kind of from a corner. It was from a corner. It came after the corner. Lejeune wasn't directly from the corner kick. That's what I meant. But yeah, good setup from Ayoze Perez to win the header down to Lejeune. And we go into the half-time 1-0 up. Good stuff. Let's see if there's anything we need to change. Is anyone not really performing? Marino again. Marino not performing, so we're going to bring on Niles and swap him over to there with Shelvey. And Mbemba is not having a great game, so we're going to give Jamal a 45 minutes to do something. Maybe Lejeune and Lascelles will be the pair at the back. Here we go. Let's get another one. Let's try and secure this. And now Matt Ritchie with the corner for Stoke, and it's collected by Perrin. Good handling from him. Maybe the training's working. But yeah, Perrin with the goal kick up to, straight to Wimmer there. Shelvey wins it back though, now to Ayoze. Out wide to Gale, who cuts inside, shoots, and that was close. That would have been a good goal. Good turn from him and good burst of pace to get himself in the space. But now Clark to Ayoze Perez. Finds Niles with the assist to Gale. Can he shoot? That would have been good. Now Hesse up to Asamoah. Back to Peters, plays the ball over to Berahino, and Perrin catches the ball for once. And Perrin's doing well today. He's held the ball a few times. Much better than the 6.5 ratings that he'd been getting before. And Ayoze Perez gets the goal. 2-0 here at St James's Park. Ayoze Perez with an assist and a goal today. He's a valuable part of this team. I love him on Football Manager. In last year's save, he was an absolute god. He was a constant starter for me. In this series, I think he's going to be the same. At least in the early stages. And Storaro's on a 7.3 at the minute, so good from him. Lejean with an 8.3, so I think he's definitely going to be starting our next game and possibly starting a few games into the future, depending on how he does. But now it looks like Stoke, oh well, I thought they were going to be on the attack there, but they've won it back, and now Hesse picks it up on the left-hand flank across to Peters. Asamoah finds Hesse again and cleared by Lejean, and now we're on the counter-attack. Ayoze Perez perhaps should have done better there. And now Asamoah over to Doof and down to Ritchie. Is he going to cross it? And Perrin with a save, and it's cleared, hopefully. Yes, it is. And we go into the final minutes of the game, and we're going to make a substitution, maybe waste some time a little bit. We're going to bring on Diame for Shelby, who's looking tired. The midfield must be doing a lot of work because they are looking knackered. We're also going to switch to defensive and waste time. And hopefully he takes the time with his substitution and ticks down the clock a little bit. And we go into stoppage time now. It looks like it's going to end 2-0 unless we can grab a late goal here. Storaro into Diame, finds Hosalu to Niles. Turns and tries to shoot, and Gale with the effort, and it goes wide. I think that's it now. Matt Ritchie's return to St James's Park is not something he would have been happy with after this. Matt Ritchie through to Berahino though, and it's cleared by Yedlin. Good job from him. Zuma with a great tackle there, but that is the last touch of the game. And the commentator at the bottom says Newcastle United were in control here, and I can't disagree. I would say I was pleased with the players, and Diame looked to switch off. So the next game is in 2 weeks against Huddersfield, which should be another 3 points, and then we play Brighton as well straight after, which should be another 3 points. So hopefully 6 points in the next 2 games will be something we can look to achieve. And then in the next episode, we will be playing Bournemouth and Man City. I would have done the Man City Arsenal, but I think that'll just be 2 losses, and that's not going to be great to watch. So I think Bournemouth's a winnable game at home, so we're going to come back there. Before I stop recording, I just want to get to see what the result of the takeover will be. So let's just skip to that point now. So I did say I would get to the takeover, but we're at the Huddersfield game now, and it hasn't happened yet. So I'm just going to end the episode here. Hopefully by the next episode, we will have the takeover complete, and we should have a new owner. If it's not Ken, hopefully someone else. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. In the next one, as I say, I'll be bringing you the Bournemouth and Manchester City game. Hopefully we can get 3 points in at least one of them. And we end the episode currently 13th in the league, so I'm more than happy with that. Anything really mid-table, as long as I meet the expectations of the board, I'll be happy. But as I say, I would like to get that 7th spot if it's available. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe for more Football Manager 2018 content. And until next time, peace. Peace.